motivated back in Las Vegas by the fact, I think at 24/7 you were like ranked 1,600, was something like that. How much did that kind of motivate you back in the day?
It motivated me a lot, especially as a young kid. I was like, man, surely there's not 1,000 receivers out there better than me. I was like, man, I'm not that good. But yeah, it's motivated me, and even to this day, it kind of motivates me a little bit. So, yeah.
And what is kind of the challenge this year? It's got to feel so different from a year ago when y'all were all. Now it's about staying power and building. I mean, what's kind of the challenge in that?
Well, for me, it's the same. Probably the biggest, staying level-headed. Not getting caught up in the hype. Having that same mentality as last year, which is playing hard. I feel like we played every game hard. No matter what the score was. So just playing hard. Representing that T well. Just staying focused on that, and not so much the hype. I think, all of us, including myself. I think that's probably been the biggest thing.
Is that hard to do with numbers? I mean, you're coming off a 1,000-yard season. I mean, Hendon, that's going to be hard to do, the 31-3 ratio he had. How hard is that going to be given those numbers y'all put up?
Man, you just got to compete, let the numbers, take care of themselves. The first 4 games, wherever it was, I didn't have the best numbers. And, kind of the last 6 or 7 games, that's when I kind of took off. So, just not looking so much in the numbers, playing hard, and the numbers will come.
What was the turning point for you in this offense?
I feel like the Mizzou game, honestly, and, just not just me, my teammates, quarterback, Bayless, the whole line, defense. I feel like that game gave us confidence and, really showed how dominant of an offense we can be.
When did you realize this offense was just a totally different beast than the one that you played in?
The first day we got on the practice field. Yeah, the first day, way different than anything I've ever done before, but I was excited for the challenge and, it's worked pretty good for us.
Cedric, I know you can't outscore everybody 21-0 every quarter, but how do you carry what you guys did in the first quarter onto the second, third? Have y'all looked back at that and seen kind of what went wrong in those second quarters?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as we saw, the first quarters will come out, dominant. I think the best in the country, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But, like you said, kind of went on a down slope second, third, fourth quarter. So just learning from our mistakes last year. And that has to do with being more comfortable on offense, getting that big game experience. Because, we're in a lot of the big games, kind of just, the inexperience, I feel like, kind of derailed us. So just learning from our mistakes from last year.
So Josh talked about the extra attention he expects you to get this year because of how productive you were a year ago. What kind of conversations have you and the coaching staff, maybe even Hendon, the guys on offense, had about handling that extra coverage and attention?
Really just... That's why it's my job to become an overall better receiver. The best receivers in this conference get double teamed or get the best corner. So that's why my route running needs to be perfect. That's my releases need to be better. And I'll just say it. The other receivers, and I know they will, but they got to do their jobs too. And I know they'll do their job, and I'm excited for it, and I'm looking forward to the season.
Speaking of that,
how much have you kind of pulled those guys along with you? I mean, obviously your work ethic is well documented. How much time have you spent with those guys talking to them about it is about the little things and I need your help?
Yeah, I don't want to make it seem like, I need your help, but what I'm saying, I just want to feel like if we all do our job, everybody can succeed, everybody can be successful. So I spend a lot of time with them, especially the young guys that's coming in, the freshmen. But I'm excited for from Ramel to Jalen to Brew to Chaz, Squirrel, whoever you want to name, they're all working hard. I said earlier, getting 500 balls a day on the jug machine, getting 10,000 balls a month. These are things that people don't notice that we're putting in work, so we're excited for it.
Specifically, what have you seen from Jalen this offseason as he continued to grow?
Yeah, I've seen big steps from Jalen. I'm looking forward to see what Jalen can do. I think Jalen can be, one of the top receivers in the SEC, if not the country. So, he's got the ability to do it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Did you have a moment where you thought about leaving?
Not necessarily leaving, but definitely a moment of frustration. Seeing if I, really wanted to be here or not. But ultimately, I'm here. It's paid off for me, and I'm excited for it.
When was that moment of frustration for you?
Probably the COVID year. Everything going on. Not knowing who the coach is going to be. Just not playing as much as I felt like I should have. I feel like that was a frustrating time. So, but you got to put your head down and work, and things happen for a reason.
Did you have a meeting with Coach Heupel where he showed you, hey, this is what the offense is going to be, stick around?
Yeah, the first day Coach Heupel got on campus, he talked to me for 15, 20 minutes, not even about football, just, who I was, who he was. And I think that kind of showed me that, okay, like, you know, this coach is the real deal.
And you watched his offense at UCF and at Mizzou as well?
No, not really, honestly. I just kind of heard rumors when he got hired. You know, I really didn't know, you know, who he was. You know what I'm saying? That's no disrespect to him, but, you know, all I heard was he's an offensive guy. We're going to score a lot of points. And they came in, all the coaches, you know, saying it. And I feel like it was our job to, you know, back that up. So,
How much more do you feel like you and Hendon are on the same page now compared to maybe this time last year?
I feel like we're going to be better this year than last year. You know, just being more comfortable with each other. Year 2 of the offense, year 2 with the chemistry. I know he's excited. I'm excited too.
How do you feel when people say Hendon is a system quarterback because he was so much better in this system than Virginia Tech?
Can't pay attention to it. You know, I'm with Hendon. I know what he can and can't do. I know Ken is, you know, one of the top quarterbacks in the country. So, you know, just look at it and just kind of keep scrolling.
How important is the rivalry with Alabama, and what would it mean for the program to get a win?
Yeah, Alabama's one of our biggest rivals. You know, I feel like we played them hard for 3.5 quarters last year. You know, gave it our all, but like that inexperience that we had last year. So this year, you know, we're going to throw our best swing at them and let the cards fall.
Did y'all learn something from that game last year that you think makes a difference this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of touched on it, the little things. You know, can't jump off sides, can't get unnecessary penalties and stuff like that. So with a good team like them, they'll take advantage of it.
Cedric, how different is your life now? I mean, you just got back from New York, you know, and spending some time up there. How different is life for you now than it was 18 months ago or 14 months ago? Can you put it in perspective?
Yeah, it's pretty different as far as NIL stuff and maybe, you know, more attention and stuff like that. But my mentality is the same. You know, just go out there and be the best receiver on the field, be the best player on the field. And I'm going to have that same mentality this year.
How tough was the decision to come back after you exploded in the second half of the year? You've got the tape against Georgia, against Bama. Did that decision, was that something that you agonized over?
Yeah, you know, it was a tough decision. You know, talked to the coach, talked to my family. And overall, it's my decision at the end of the day. You know, I had to look at, you know, what are the advantages, the pros and cons of coming back. So, you know, I feel like there's some things I had to prove left at Tennessee, so that's what ultimately made this decision.
What did you want to prove?
I just want to, you know, Tennessee hasn't really had as much success as the fans and as I feel like we should have. And I feel like this year will give us you know, a great opportunity. And also, I just want to develop as an overall receiver, you know, get better at some things in my game that people don't have to, you know, try to knick-knack and stuff like that. So, yeah.
The shoulder shrug celebration, the last dance.
Yeah.
Are you sticking with that this year?
Absolutely. It's the signature.
Did you just start that last year, or was that 2020 as well?
No, I just started last year, 2021. I think the last dance came out like the year before, and I thought it was the coolest thing. So I don't know why it just kind of came to an end zone. And I liked it. So yeah.
You can't get flagged for it too, right?
It's real quick. So yeah.
How much do you know of Brew McCoy's game, and what can he give you guys?
Man, I feel like Brew can give us a lot. You know, he's a big receiver like me. He can run. You know, has good hands. You know, bruiser. So I think Brew's going to be very dominant for us this year.
That game against Kentucky has gotten a lot more contentious in recent years. What is that? Why so, and what's that rivalry mean to you?
Yeah, it's huge, man. Like, I wasn't expecting that last year from the fan base. You know, it was packed. You know, it was loud. You know, Kentucky was competitive. So, you know, they're a great team. Got great players over there. So I'm looking forward to playing them this year as well.
Where does this offense better in year 2?
Just being more comfortable. Going to be able to go even faster, which may be hard to believe, but being able to go faster. Learning from our mistakes last year. I don't think you'll see as much inexperience as you did last year. So I think those are the steps that we're going to take.
You got a late offer from Tennessee, right, in the recruiting process.
Yeah.
You thought about, you know, the sliding doors and, you know, where else you could have ended up at. Like, where was how late did that decision really kind of come for you to pick Tennessee?
It was a couple of days before signing day, man. Didn't really know where I was going to go. You know, Tennessee kind of, you know, came, like I said, a couple of days before. So, you know, I was going to either have to walk on somewhere or do something, weigh my other options. But yeah, I didn't really have much options. So I said, I guess I was meant to wear the orange and white, and that's what kind of went into my decision to stay a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying? So
where would you have wanted to walk on?
I'm not sure. You know, not really too sure how to win my options back at the time. So yeah.
Was that surprising? I think you had a pretty big senior year. You were playing at a pretty big high school, Bishop Gorham. Was that surprising that you didn't get more attention?
Yeah, it was. Sometimes players like me can get lost up in the recruiting scheme. You know what I'm saying? The late bloomers. Sometimes we get lost caught up, but it paid off now. So I don't think those 1,000 guys that are in front of me, I don't know what they're doing now. But
I mean, does that still motivate you to say that you set up there you had more to prove, this team has more to prove? Are you still motivated by kind of your path and how you got to this point?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a guy that's going to say much. I'm not a guy that's going to respond. But I see it. I see what people say, but I can't focus on that. I play my game. I let it speak for itself, and I feel like it's more of an inspiration thing, especially the high school kids. If you, no matter if you're a 2-3 star, all you need is one team to take a chance. And even some of the young guys in the room, in Tennessee, I didn't play a lot until last year. I had to go 4 years before I played a lot. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta pay your dues. So I tell them, even if you're not playing the earliest, don't go in the transfer portal. Don't go to just stick it out, grind, compete, because you're gonna have to compete wherever you go. So
I think you recently retweeted a top 10 list of receivers that didn't have you on it. Or you said you don't look for that stuff. Or do you try to look for some of that motivational stuff, or is it just someone's in there doing it and you see it?
Just retweeted it.
Is there? I know you say you don't get too caught up in it, but is there one thing that you've routinely heard about maybe what you lack or what you don't have that makes you laugh?
I just keep it to myself. But there's some things that I think if we watch the tape instead of looking at a PFF grade or something, that you'll be like, I don't know if that's true. So, yeah.
So there are a couple.
There's a couple, but it comes with it.
What do you kind of model your game after?
I try to model my game after, receivers that make big time plays, competitive catches. So I love watching D-Hop. He's a guy that no matter where the ball is, he tries to catch it, diving for a high point, and 2 guys on him. Super Bowl, that Hail Mary catch he had against the Bills, whatever, went up over 3 guys, it's something I feel like I can do too. So just watching guys that high point the ball, that play physical, I try to watch those receivers.
You mentioned to him the Missouri game where it all kind of clicked. Do you remember kind of the next day? I mean, was there a moment where you went, this is legit, like this is really going to work? I mean, it's, we can see what it's all about now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously next day went to Coach Burns at the time and goes, we watched the film, and you can just see it. We score points so fast, and it's like, okay, what they said was working. So as long as we do what we're told, it's going to work. So I feel like that was a turning point.
Was there a shift? It felt like that they tried to force the ball to more after that Florida game. Did you sense that some things schematically were done different to try to get you the ball, to get the offense going?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be honest. After the Florida game, I asked Burns, hey, I want to get more involved in the offense. I want you guys to trust me more. And he liked the confidence. He said, I agree. And I feel like that's why it took off. I wanted more to, number 1 receiver role. I asked for it, and I think it paid off.
What's the situation you're most comfortable with, where you're lining up, and obviously nobody's putting a linebacker on you, or at least they shouldn't be. What's the situation? Is it press? Is it when you get a 7-yard cushion where you really feel like you can drive?
It doesn't matter. If you want to press me, I'll use my body. I'll use my finesse moves, whatever, to get off the line. If you want to play off, I feel like good luck tackling me. You know what I'm saying? So whatever people want to do, whatever they want to throw at me, that's what the summer's for. That's what the off season's for. Is to perfect my craft. So whatever they want to do, I'll be ready for it.
Were there times when you said, when you walked up in those situations, you looked and went, I know the play up. This is a touchdown.
Yeah.
And what's that feel like? And what's that feel like when you line up out there and you're like, okay, this is it. I mean, this is a touchdown. This is a laydown.
Everything kind of slows down. I kind of know, especially when my number gets called, I can look at the coverage and I'm like, he's throwing it to me no matter what. So yeah.
What's the transition been like from Cody Burns to Kelsey Cook this offseason?
It's been a smooth transition. I love Burns. I appreciate what he's done for me. He really helped me as a receiver and as a man. But it's Pope's turn now, and I feel like Pope's helped me with all those things too. No coaches teaches the same. But it's been smooth. I already have that relationship with Pope, and he's helped me out a lot. Been there for me on and off the field. So I love what he's been doing.
When Cody left, did you go to Coach Heupel and say, kind of, Coach Pope is here, we'd like him, retaining him?
No,
that there too?
that was Coach Hype's decision. You know what I'm saying? I let the coaches do what coaches do, and I'll just be the player.
Is there a path for you to become the best receiver in college football?
I do think so, but I got to work for it. You know what I'm saying? You got to work each day and each out, and I got to prove it. So that's watching film, staying healthy, being available on the field on Saturdays. That's what I got to do.
What was your experience in New York like this week?
It was great. I went out there with Hendon over there. We had a great time. I've never been to New York before, so me and Hendon had a little billboard downtown. So that was a dream come true. Not a lot of people, get to experience that. So it was dope.
Sid, how do you feel about recruits getting paid NIL money in the same way that experienced players get paid?
I think it's a good thing for them. I'm not going to be a jealous guy or be that, old grumpy dude. Whatever can bless somebody, somebody's family, it's a good thing. So I hope the kids take that money, they use it for good, and I hope they, continue that passion on the field as they would if they went to school for free.
With the